Sidecars will provide us with some fantastic action to bookend our Saturday running, and as the number 52 lines up at the back, or the 127 lines up at the back, John Hosker. Green flag up, green flag drops, here we go, that's a decent start. The two front row men get away perfectly fine, and it's Mick Williams who will take the lead coming into turn one for the first time. Danny Traynor is not going to give him much of a choice. Meanwhile, the midfield battle looking fantastic as well. Up towards turn three for the first time, the right-hander up towards the hairpin. Can it be a late move coming up the inside of Danny Traynor? No, he doesn't, and it means that we get a decent run. Mick Lee in the 144 will continue on his good run.
Someone running wide there,
and that was actually John Hosker, who's now got past.
John Hosker made a place up as well. He'd made a place up as well,
and it's all over the back of the 127. So yeah, so the 127 and John Hosker has moved up on Mark Parks as they come over the line for the first time out of 8 or 5, actually. I'm being told it's a 5-lap race.
Yeah.
So
that's come down.
Yeah. So Mick Williams will be in the lead of the race, 0.665 of a second ahead of Paul Coulters Senior. Fourth place is Mick Lee. Fifth place is Simon Ibbotson. Sixth place is now Adrian Ems, who has got past Paul Coulters, and it's actually John Hosker who does remain in ninth and last behind Mark Parker. As a matter of fact, we thought he'd made it through. So as we make our way up towards turn number 5 and 6 again,
still Williams and Stainer, they're just keeping enough distance. I don't think Stainer is going to be able to challenge. The gap is already 0.6.
And between Adrian Ems and Paul Coulters Jr., it looks like a good battle. The John Hosker has slowed up significantly now compared to how they were running earlier, so maybe their issues that they had earlier are struggling. 52.546 for Mick Williams, who has got 1.336 seconds on Danny Traynor.
Fastest lap of the race as well by your leaders.
And Paul Coulters Senior on the 25 sidecar. Having to defend quite vigorously for Mick Lee. 0.657 of a second is the gap between third and fourth place. Simon Ibbotson 5.6 behind, 5.8 behind. He's got Adrian Ems right behind him as well. So battles all down the field with 1 lap completed and 4 to go, and is still bouncing around that left front fairing on the 127.
Prominent earlier as well. They pulled in because of that. I'm just wondering if there's something else going on.
Meanwhile, up at the hairpin, we can see the battle between Adrian Ems and Paul Coulters Jr. A great battle going on, and they're going to go side by side coming through turn number 7. He has to lift out of it though.
There's no way that's going to work.
So Adrian Ems is Adrian Ems obviously then has to make sure that he doesn't make contact. And we've got I'll leave you to your little fan there. You'll have to read that one out, Kiko.
Yes, Gary Howard of Sunbury-on-Thames there. Hello, Gary. I can see you commentating there. Commenting even. I'm commentating. But now out front at the moment, I can't see Mick Williams being beaten. I've said it before, but he's got 1.5 seconds over the rest of the field, and with 3 laps to go, it's looking ominous. And
of course, Ems has now moved up into 5th place ahead of Simon Ibbotson. So we've got a 1.5 second gap between Mick Williams and Danny Traynor for 1st and 2nd, but 5th and 6th is Adrian Ems and Simon Ibbotson. Stainer. Sorry, I've been saying Traynor all day, it appears, and now Mick Lee has moved up into 3rd place.
Good from him. Qualified 4th. He's gone up a place there.
At the expense of Paul Coulters
Very
Senior.
slow lap times though, if you're not in the top 2. I mean, last time round Stainer was quicker, but apart from that, you're looking at 54.2s, 54.8s as your fastest lap times, which is over a second off your leaders.
But of course, unlike many of the categories you've got running here this weekend, these are homemade, hand-built. So
tell you what, that gap has come down. What am I on about here?
1.2 seconds out.
The gap has come down, and it's really close through that twisty section. It's visually closing.
Yes, of course, and of course these sidecars are made hand-built and homemade. So
Custom.
Of course your manufacturing skill and your engineering skill plays as much into it as much your riding skill. So that's what makes it interesting. The gap's come down, well, it's in fact increased, as we were saying. 1.5 seconds out. We've lost John Hosker.
Hosker's gone,
so he's only completed 1 lap.
Unlucky
so 1 lap to go. and Mick Williams in the lead by 1.5 seconds. Close between Mickley and Paul Coulter Senior though, 0.997 seconds.
Yeah, well, 1 lap to go though. I can't see it. See, it just closes up. It concertinas together through this twisty stuff.
And it is visually closer. I don't think it's going to be 1.5 seconds.
I think, do you know what? I think Danny Stainer, no matter how close he's going to get, isn't going to try. He's going to take the points. There's no passing places left.
No.
He's going to take the points for second place. It's going to be a Mick Williams victory. He's been on it all through practice and all through qualifying. Coming through the final corner, Mick Williams takes the victory for the first sidecar race here. Danny Stainer will be second, and I think, I'm not going to say it.
It's going to be Mickley. Mickley is ahead.
Mickley is ahead. The 44 there, 144 of Mickley even, is going to beat Paul Coulter Senior into fourth. And Adrian Ems, who qualified 7th, the number 76, is going to be 5th. And he's going to have a big gap in front of him and a reasonable gap behind him.
Exactly. It's been a great race from those guys. So Adrian Ems over the line now to take 5th place ahead of Simon Ibbotson in 6th. Paul Coulters Jr. will come over the line to finish 7th, and Mark Parker is our last man running out in 8th place.